Storytime 21. um, I had just remembered these particular stories. Now, I don't condone wasting food and whatnot, but I had some pretty epic food fights. Well, the reasons for them are epic. They really kind of were garbage food fights. so, I believe it started, I think I was in ninth or 10th grade when this happened. I know I was in high school. Well, our high school had a very interesting policy for food. And some of our food was coming out not very good. So our whole school orchestrated that we were just going to, like, pick up our food, throw it, and then walk out the lunchroom as protest. Well, I'm not sure if you realize what happens when everyone throws food all aimed in the same direction. We didn't think about it, but it ended up being a massive pile of trays and food in the middle of the lunchroom, and everyone just walked out. I think it happened twice, but I'm not sure. But here were the results for that. So the next day, everyone comes into school and the announcements come on, and the announcements say, students, we will have in classroom lunches and lunch bags will be provided for everyone. Everyone is to have silent lunch and think about what they've done. Okay. Now, the thing that we were protesting about was the food being stale and old, things like that. I believe it was 2/3 or 3/4 of my high school ended up with food poisoning from peanut butter jelly sandwiches because both the peanut butter and jelly was expired for such a long time that I'm surprised they even served it, type thing. We ended up in the local news for it too. And a lot of students actually who weren't sick, who didn't eat the food, I would bring my lunch every day. I would make my own peanut butter and jelly sandwich from home and just eat it that way. But they were so like embarrassed by the whole situation where the local news was covering how shitty our food was that the majority of the school got food poisoning from that they immediately gave us better food quality. Now, it was still, school lunch quality, but it wasn't old and crusty, and you could tell that it was actually fresh food type thing. That was interesting. Now, when my senior year hit, now I know a lot of you know that my senior year I wilded the fuck out. I wasn't a part of this food fight, but I was in the vicinity watching everything unfold. For anyone who remembers this epic food fight, let me tell you what I saw and experienced during that food fight. Now, what I heard from like across the way was someone like straight up just like there was a confrontation happening, like it was getting louder and louder. And then like some clattering happened and then someone screeched out, "Food fight!" And the most epic, glorious arcs of food just went and like everything was just like happening so fast and I was like laughing the whole time. Now, what everyone remembers is the motherfucking shoe. It like everyone ceased-fired for a moment and this shoe sailed across the whole lunchroom area and hit the other wall on the other side of the lunchroom. And then food continued to fling everywhere. Now, my friend, me and Benji used to get into some antics. And this was one of my favorite antics, was when he literally wanted a piece of the action. So he went into the lunch line and started chucking food that was the lunch ladies were providing. And they were still providing lunch. And he was just chucking it. Now, he said that he knew he had done fucked up because time slowed down for a moment. And he was like, all right, let me look around. He had opened the milk and chucked it like a milk bomb type thing. And slow motion, he watched in horror as the principal was running next to this pillar. And then the milk went sploosh. My friend said, oh shit. And like hid in the lunch line. And as the principal like blew the whistle and stuff. And now mind you, I'm still like on the other side, like I don't know what's going on. My friend Benji, he's over. He like ninja runs and goes like teleports, and he comes next to me. We gotta go, April. What do you mean we gotta go? You don't understand. We gotta go. And grab him. You know, we book it. That doesn't look suspicious to us back then, but we fucking book it. We're out of there. We're not dealing with that. We get far enough away for him to tell me that he accidentally chucked a milk at the principal, and I was like, oh, fuck, you are so fucked. And and we are looking over our shoulders and everything, like paranoid, like fuck, he's gonna come get us. Didn't come get us. So that was my senior year. Now, my 6th grade year, we had Fields Day, and we're the reasons why we got Fields Day canceled. Everyone handed us water balloons for Fields Day and said, oh, you can take them inside. You see why that I understand. My teachers didn't realize what mistakes were made. All of us had like 2 or 3 water balloons in our hands. We walk inside and we get to the lunchroom and there's a bin of ice, and these kids like grab my water balloons and say, April, we're going to do this. And my innocent self, what do you mean we're going to do? They fucking chuck it. And then next thing I know, everyone's chucking water balloons at each other. And then like they start chucking ice at each other. So we had a water balloon and ice fight inside the 6th grade lunchroom. Now I'm walking away because I don't want to get in trouble. And I see Mr. Carr, my social studies teacher. He was the strict one. He is speed walking in his fabulous attire. Like he was always dressed for success. And he was speed walking towards and I was like, nope, out. And I sit in the class and Mr. Carr comes into the classroom and is like, you were part of it, weren't you? And I go, and I start crying. And I go, they took the water balloons from me. I'm sorry. You can tell that I never wanted to get in trouble when I was younger. I didn't like the feeling of getting into trouble. I didn't get into trouble. He said me like literally in hysterics was as much trouble as I was going to get into. But that was an epic time. I think we'll call that story 21, 22, and 23. Thank you for tuning in.